What up? It's your homie Tamashi, and I finally uploaded the second requested video. So today I'm going to talk about your favorite ninja.
Oh, hell yeah, my boy Hanzo. Let's go.
What? No, I'm talking about...
Oh, so then my homie Sogetsu.
Can you just wait till
It's everybody's husbando.
No, it's not the water boy.
Oh, Kazuki's pretty cool too.
No, it's none of the... He's not even Japanese.
Oh, you mean Earthquake. Yo, Earthquake is my shit, cuh. He got the chain and the thing with the thing that he throws it. He's super sexy with the butt chick in it.
Whoa. No, you ass goblin. The other American ninja.
You mean the weeb?
No, he's not a... Oh my god.
He's a weeb. He's a bigger weeb than you are.
Just chill and listen.
Alright, fine, you bastard.
Okay, so today we introduced the Blue-Eyed Ninja, the American Shinobi, the OG, triple OG, Blonde Ninja. Naruto, move the hell out of the way. You are still wet from the womb. The heavily requested Galford D. Weller.
Weeb.
You obviously know nothing. You know absolutely nothing. Just sit back, listen, and maybe you can be enlightened, okay?
Whatever.
So, Galford D. Weller was born the 22nd of December in 1768. No era of Cthulhu or hour of the Chupacabras necessary.
The Chupacabras.
He's from Hero City in San Francisco, California. He's 5 feet 8 inches and weighs 138 pounds. His blood type is O, which suggests he is insensitive, almost always late, is very optimistic, has leadership qualities, is often seen as rude, very outgoing, strong-willed, and unpredictable.
Hey, that sounds a lot like you. Aren't you an O blood type?
Yeah, I am. You know what? You're right. I am a good leader.
But that's not the only...
Anyway, his job description is a damn it.
What?
Nothing.
What? Let me see.
Now, wait.
His job description is... Oh my god, he's such a weeb. Quick, read this out loud.
Galford's job description is a hero of justice.
I'm sorry, what?
A hero of justice.
Oh, okay, thank you. You can continue. City of Heroes.
You know what? I don't care what you think. Galford is still cool. Anyway, he loves justice, morality, and superheroes, dislikes the wicked and evil itself, and his most unpleasant memory is running from home. His special skill is communicating with his dog, and his favorite pastime is playing with his dog, a Siberian Husky named Poppy.
Oh, you diggy doggy little puppy baby. Alright, he's cool.
Seriously? I thought...
He has a diggity doodle.
Okay. Galford's weapon is a ninjato. According to modern ninjutsu practitioners, ninjato are a shinobi's preferred weapon as it can be used for multiple situations. Ninjato are also referred to as shinobi katana, or ninjaken. The ninjato are usually straight swords which can sometimes come with varying accessories and are smaller than the standard katana, yet longer than a wakizashi.
Come on, man.
What?
Not everyone is going to know what that is.
Oh, right. So daito were considered the generic sword of weapons for a fully fledged samurai. They would consist of 2 swords. Samurai generally did not wield twin swords, as wearing 2 katana would be financially impractical. They would instead wear a smaller, cheaper sword in tandem with the larger one. In the case of the katana, it would normally be accompanied by a wakizashi, shown here. At any rate, Galford named his ninjato Justice Blade.
Alright, that's a good name.
Are you serious? His martial arts style is a mix of Koga-ryu, combined with Galford's own shinobi style, or as he calls it, Galford-ryu. You see this? This is his fighting style, and this means Koga-ryu. This clarifies everything. This cleared up some stuff in the story I was confused about, which I'm going to tell you about later in this video. But first, let me explain the 2 rival shinobi clans. So the 2 known major shinobi clans in Japan were the Iga and the Koga. Hattori Hanzo historically was a member of the Iga ninja who served Tokugawa Ieyasu, who happened to be the first shogun to unite all of Japan under one rule. Well, technically Nobunaga did all the work, and the Tokugawas prospered from it. Anyway, the Koga were a clan of shinobi that rivaled the Iga clan until they also came under Tokugawa rule. Even then, it would seem that they still bickered over who was better. There is an entire story about their rivalry, but I'll leave that for another time. All you really need to know about Galford is that he learned Koga Ryu and Hanzo learned Iga Ryu.
Seems legit, man. Thanks for the clarification. Also, Galford seems pretty skilled.
What? I think I liked you better when you hated Galford. Please stop being such a damn shill.
Or you could shut the hell up and talk about the doggy baby.
Oh my god. Okay, so Galford has a pet female husky named Poppy who fights alongside him. She has 3 pups named Papa, Pippi, and Pippa, all of which are female. Poppy is extremely loyal and always tries to stay by Galford's side. It's also important to know that Poppy knows some ninjutsu and can also teleport and stuff. Now, back to Galford. His idol is his deceased father, and his favorite type of girl is the same as Haomaru's, a Yamato Nadeshiko. His mantra for his path of the sword is a way to realize justice in the fight against evil. Now that you know the details of We Be Justice McGoodguy, let's get into Galford's story. We begin with Washington and Maria Weller, whom had 4 children, 3 of which were girls. Their first 2 children were Julie and Sheila. On December 22nd of 1768, Maria gave birth to Galford. Afterwards, she gave birth to their final daughter, Selena, or Selena, I don't know how to pronounce that. Galford's father was a kind and just sheriff who governed with an iron hand. He brought many criminals to justice, which created a decent amount of enemies for him. Eventually, an assassination attempt would be made. At the time, Washington happened to be with his son. As the shots were fired, Washington would run over and shield his son with his body, forcing Galford to watch as his father died. In his last breath, his father's dying words were, "Become strong." Those words never left Galford's thoughts. Galford kept the bullet that killed his father and would run away from home to become a sailor, for the sole purpose of finding a way to fulfill his father's dying wish. In his search, he would come to hear legendary tales about the heroism of the Japanese shinobi carrying out their orders at the cost of their lives. Upon hearing these stories, Galford decided to make his way to Japan in order to learn ninjutsu. When he finally decides to depart, he comes across a husky whom he adopts and names Poppy.
Oh, my little doggy baby head friend.
When he finally completes his journey, Galford comes across a woman named Ayame. Ayame is a shinobi that fled the Koga clan in order to elope with Hanzo, who was a shinobi of the rival Iga clan.
Oh, so my favorite ninja's in the story.
Not exactly. See, Hanzo is more of a title than a name. The Hanzo Hattori that you see in the Samurai Showdown series is not the same Hanzo that Ayame elopes with. In fact, Ayame's Hanzo is the mentor to the Hanzo in the game. The one in the game achieves the mantle sometime after his mentor flees the clan with Ayame. There is even a third Hanzo in the Samsho series, but we will get into that when we get into Hanzo's video. As a side note, the name Hanzo in real life was thought to be passed down from generation to generation. So all of the Hanzo in Japanese history were children of the previous Hanzo. It is unclear if this is also the case in the game or if it's just a mantle, though if I had to guess, I would bet my money on the former. Anyway, a young Galford impresses Ayame with his determination, and she decides to teach him the Koga Ryu alongside Earthquake, another American but from Texas. The two would train arduously, but after some time, Earthquake would quit his training, leaving Galford as Ayame's sole pupil. Some years pass as Poppy grew into an adult, and Galford would finish his training. As a result, Ayame would reward him with the red muffler he currently wears. After his training was complete, Galford had his ninjato created. During its creation, he would melt the bullet that killed his father into his sword and engrave his mother's and sister's names into the blade. As a side note, at some time between Galford's running away from home and becoming a full-fledged shinobi, Galford would come to realize his ability to generate electricity with his body, though it's uncertain exactly when. During the events of Samsho 5, Galford has an entire monologue on how he decided to fight against Gal. But outside of aiding Yoshitora's army, he really didn't play a major role in the story. He mainly assisted in the battle. At the end of the war, he got together with Poppy and decided to celebrate their victory. But one of Poppy's pups were missing. Galford goes off with Poppy and tries to rescue the pup, but has to nearly sacrifice himself to do so. As he was about to be killed, Poppy leaves her pup behind and sacrifices herself to save Galford.
What? Does she come back?
Nah, man.
It's like Homeward Bound.
It's nothing like Homeward Bound.
It's like All Dogs Go to Heaven.
It's nothing like All Dogs Go to Heaven.
It's like Lady and the Tramp.
What?
Rintin.
No.
Lassie.
Nope.
Oliver and Cub.
Nope.
The Fox and the...
No.
101.
No.
Balto.
Nope.
Marley. Bolt.
Sure, it's exactly like Bolt. How did you know?
Cause it has a doggy.
Oh my god. Anyway, the dog you see after the events of Samsho 5 is not the original Poppy. What are you doing?
Pouring out a drink for the homie that's not here.
Okay. Galford renamed the pup to Poppy in her mother's honor, and the pup would grow to full size by the time we reach the new Samsho in the timeline. In Samsho 7, we only have information on Galford's prelude. The country is plagued with fires and famine as well as dark ominous clouds. It is apparent that a great evil is afoot, which gives pause to even the likes of Galford. However, Galford's conviction is not so fickle, and he courageously progresses onward in order to carry out swift justice to those who would harm the innocent, accompanied by only his sword and his companion Poppy.
Oh, that's my little Minky.
In the first Samsho, Galford sets out in search of Amakusa in order to strike down the one responsible for all of the calamities in Japan. At some point in his journey, he associates with the likes of Haomaru, Charlotte, Wanfu, and Nakoruru. He mostly assists alongside his peers, and much like other characters that are not Haomaru, he mainly plays a minor role in the story. In his ending, he cuts the Palenque stone that Amakusa wielded. Though it's not very likely that he officially destroyed the stone, it is very possible that he at least extinguished some of the energy or some sort of spell from it and inadvertently aided the current Hanzo. More on that later. It is also revealed that Poppy gives birth to her pup somewhere near the end of Samsho 1, thus introducing Papa, Pippi, and Pippa for the first time. Sometime before the events in Samsho 3, Galford would come to grow into a more skilled shinobi and wield new electric abilities. In Samsho 3, Galford comes across a village where a swordsman called the Demon massacred the majority of the citizens. The tiny few that survived his onslaught told Galford what had happened. Witnessing the plight of the innocent villagers, Galford decided that this demon's days were numbered. He sets out in search of him, only to find out about his death before he could make it to his dwelling. In Samsho 4, we find that Galford is sizing up the castle that is housing Amakusa. As he conjures up a path to the castle, Tam Tam makes himself known to Galford and expresses that there is a great evil that must be extinguished inside of the castle. Upon hearing Tam Tam's information, Galford makes his way to the source of the evil aura. When Galford finally reaches the castle, he defeats a few foes, startling Tam Tam. Tam Tam notices the strength within Galford and recognizes him as a dangerous man that must be eliminated. The two begin to fight, and after some time, the castle begins to collapse. After the castle is destroyed and sent back to the Makai, Galford rejoices and Poppy appears, dragging Tam Tam away, insinuating that she saved his life. Tam Tam rejoices and realizes he made a mistake in his judgment. Then he proceeds to pronounce his newfound friendship with Galford. Just then, the Tangier stone falls out of Tam Tam's pouch, and Galford grasps the hilt of his sword and demands an explanation. Tam Tam tries to reason with Galford and expresses the desperate situation of his village. Unconfident in his ability to persuade his new friend, Tam Tam snatches the Tangier stone and makes a run for it. Galford strikes and barely misses the surprisingly swift Tam Tam. Galford, somewhat unconvinced that Tam Tam is truly evil, doesn't give chase and resumes his journey to extinguish evil. Afterward, this chapter ends with Galford and Poppy running off into the sunset while the pups follow closely behind, carrying Tam Tam's sword and the Tangier stone. Anyway, we finally reach the events of Samsho 2, and at this point, Galford's feelings for Nakoruru have fully blossomed. During his travels, he realizes a large amount of calamities around the world, and surmises that it must have something to do with the Makai again. As such, he heads back to Japan with Poppy to meet evil head on. When he gets to Japan, I assume he helps out the other characters before Haomaru and Nakoruru make it to the Makai to beat up Mizuki. After it ends, Galford finds himself in the woods and Poppy alerts him to Nakoruru some distance away. She is passed out on a bed of grass as Galford wakes her and begins to express his feelings for her. Taken aback, Nakoruru seems to be a little smitten with Galford, but before she can say anything, a great evil looms over the forest. She promptly hops on Mamahaha and tells Galford that she has to stop it at any cost. Galford gives chase and makes it to the cliffside nearby, where he watches in agony as Nakoruru is absorbed by a large pillar of light. He hears a voice calling out to him, saying that she is sorry and knows how he feels, but her sacrifice is the only way to repel evil, and begs him not to mourn her. He says he understands and dedicates himself to his cause for Nakoruru's sake. In Samsho 64, Galford becomes aware of Yuga's army, and aids his friends in defeating said army while creating a path for them to defeat the Puppet Master. He is also made aware of Nakoruto's presence and probably defends her at all costs. In the OVA leading up to 64-2, Galford tries to kill Shiki before she can become his puppet again, and finds himself at odds with Nakoruto. He fails to execute Shiki due to Nakoruto's interference, and Shiki slips away. In 64-2, Galford sets out to exact justice, hoping that after everything ends he can finally tell Nakoruto how he feels. He plays a supportive role like he did in the previous games, and finds Nakoruto at the end of it. He tells Nakoruto how he feels before she is taken again by the light. That pretty much ends the canon entries for Galford, but there are a couple of non-canon entries that are also interesting. In the non-canon entry of Samsho 6, Slash Galford focuses on his way as a shinobi, while Bust Galford successfully confesses his love to Nakoruto and they elope. In the other non-canon entry, Samsho Sen, Galford sets out in search of his father's killer.
お前は
日本かぶれの若造か。おとなしく忍者ごっこでもしていればいいもの。
黙れ。このバッジに見覚えがあるだろう。父さんの敵、今ここで撃たせてもらう。
知らんな。お前はこれまで食べたパンの形をいちいち覚えているのか？
Shut up! Never forget just like you!
Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh, okay.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. If any of you want to take a crack at what the hell Galford said, please do so in the comments. So he basically finds Draco and cuts him down. Afterwards, he seeks out his family and finds his mother with a man he doesn't recognize. He sees her smile like she did when his father was around and decides to leave and live out the rest of his days as a shinobi. That pretty much ends just about every entry that Galford's ever been in. So let's go ahead and talk about some interesting parts about Galford. When Hanzo was created, Yasashi Adachi wanted to create another ninja character similar to him. He wanted the character to be popular with their female audience and noticed his wife was reading a manga called Dobutsu no Oisha-san. After seeing the book, he based Galford on the main character, Nishine Masaki, who goes to a veterinary school on a whim, and ends up adopting a Siberian Husky pup that he names Chobi. Galford is one of the more popular characters in the Samsho series, reaching the popularity of fighting game characters like Street Fighter's Ken during the 90s. So expect to be blocking flying dogs in the new Samsho for quite some time. There is a bit of duplexity in Galford's character. On the one hand, Galford is the most light-hearted character in the series, which is probably why it's so easy for him to make friends. On the other hand, his demeanor will change completely when necessary, as he is a lot like his father and will not hesitate to execute anyone when it comes to his path as a shinobi. This becomes pretty clear in Galford's two versions, both of which represent Galford really well. Galford Sensei Ayame was confused for Kaede in the Samsho RPG. Kaede is the wife of the second Hanzo in the game, which was an error on the developer's part. Ayame is also responsible for the canon or non-canon, I'm not sure, death of Genon within the Samsho series. Galford's electricity attacks have nothing to do with his Kogaryu, and is instead an ability he was born with. A recurring theme you will find for most of Galford's part in the main story is Galford setting out to extinguish evil while helping his friends. If I don't specify what Galford does in the story, just assume that he is extinguishing evil and aiding his friends. That ends every piece of lore for Galford within Samsho. Sorry this took so long, but I was missing the info needed in order to complete this vid. I do want to give a shout out to SNK Fight Fan, who has some pretty interesting Neo Geo vids on his channel. I wouldn't have been able to finish this or Ukyo's lore videos without his help. Please like and sub to him. Link in the description below. As always, links to all the SNK homies in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you all the best of luck in your daily grind.
That's my good little doggy baby.
It's not a goddamn chihuahua.